Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we will discuss about the economic survey basics. So all of you must be aware that economic survey 2020 to 21 has been tabled in parliament yesterday. So before we study the actual economic survey of the previous year, I would say it is pertinent to understand some basics about the economic survey. For instance, who is responsible for the preparation of the economic survey? Is it constitutionally obligated for the government of India to present this economic survey to the parliament? So all of this and some basic facts about the economic survey will be discussed in this video. Okay, so before we start, first of all, when I say economic survey 2020 to 21, it means that we are talking about the previous financial year. So here we are talking about the previous financial year. Whereas if I talk about the budget or the annual financial statement which is presented by the government of India on the 1st of February, it is for the next financial year. So when the budget will be presented, it will be the budget for 2021 to 22. So basically 1st of April 2021 to 31st of March 2022. Whereas if I talk about the economic survey, it is for the previous financial year, that is April 2020 to this end of this financial year. Okay, so let us start about the economic survey. What is Economic Survey of India? It is an annual document. So when I say annual document, annual means it is presented every year. By whom? By the Finance Ministry, and it is tabled in both the houses of Parliament. So remember, दोनों houses में इसको जो है present किया जाता है, table किया जाता है, annual document है. Okay, and here it is always shown as the previous financial year. So अगर इस साल मेरा जो survey आ रहा है, that will be 2020 to 21, which is the previous financial year. Okay. So now when I am saying that this survey is presented by the Finance Ministry, then which exact department is responsible for the preparation of the economic survey? So for that, let us see a small description of the various departments. So if I talk about the Finance Ministry, it basically comprises of a total of 5 departments. Okay, which are these 5 departments? The first one is Department of Economic Affairs. The second one is Department of Expenditure. The next is Department of Revenue. Fourth one is Department of Financial Services. And the last one is Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. So let us see overall that what various functions each of these departments handle. So let us start from the last one, which is Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. So you can easily infer, okay, it is basically for the disinvestment and the privatization of the public sector units. So basically अगर उनको जो अपने PSUs हैं, यानी कि public sector companies, okay, the mini ratnas, the maharatnas, if they have to privatize it, okay, जितना भी उनका disinvestment है, उनको अपने जो shares हैं वो सेल करने हैं, प्राइवेटाइजेशन करनी है, देन उस सब का जो काम है, it will be handled by Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. Department of Financial Services, जितनी भी financial services provide की जाती हैं by various government agencies as well as by the private corporations. So remember, government agencies के साथ साथ private corporations के through भी जो financial services provide की जाती हैं, that are covered by the Department of Financial Services. तो जितनी भी banks, insurances वगैरह जो भी होगा वो इस department के through cover होगा. Then we have the Department of Revenue. So revenue, by the name itself, you can infer all the taxes, whether they are the direct taxes or the indirect taxes. So all the direct and the indirect union taxes, that is the central government's taxes, they are covered through the Department of Revenue, and they conduct their business through 2 organizations or the 2 statutory boards. That means which has been made by a law. The organizations which are made by the enaction of a law, they are known as the statutory bodies. So in this case, we have CBDT and CBIC. Okay, and I have made the separate videos for both of these boards. If you want to see it, then you can watch the playlist of the organizations, and otherwise in the end of the video I'll also put the video link. Okay. The next department is Department of Expenditure. So expenditure again नाम से पता चल रहा है. First of all, जितना भी central government के resources हैं, when they have to be transferred to the states through the finance commission or the central pay commissions, all of that is handled by the Department of Expenditure. That means overseeing the public financial management system. All of the money that is handled by the Department of Expenditure. And last but not the least, Department of Economic Affairs. It is basically the nodal agency for all the economic policies of the government. All the economic policies, whether they are for the domestic purposes or for the international purposes, all of that is covered by the Department of Economic Affairs. So when I'm saying economic policies, so when I say survey and budget, both of these documents, they are prepared by the Department of Economic Affairs. So now you are aware that in the finance ministry also, which exact department is responsible for the preparation of economic survey and budget. So it is the Department of Economic Affairs. Okay, let us move forward. So to be precise, the economic survey, it is prepared by the economics division under the Department of Economic Affairs, under the guidance of the chief economic advisor, and then it is approved by our finance minister. So why is it important to understand that who prepares it? Because once there was a question upon who prepares the budget. Okay, so similarly one question can be asked as to who prepares the economic survey. So remember, it is the economic divisions under the Department of Economic Affairs. Guidance किसकी है? Chief Economic Advisor की, and then finally it is approved by the finance minister. And also remember, there is a finance secretary. Okay, we have a finance secretary who is basically an IAS officer only. Right, now we have 5 departments. So who will become the finance secretary? So remember, the senior most IAS officer among all these 5 departments is made the finance secretary. So here we also talk about another fact, the 1 rupee note. The 1 rupee note which is circulated by the government of India. So remember, all the currency, it is printed or it is the responsibility of RBI. Only the 1 rupee note, it is basically printed by the government of India. So government of India जो ये print करती है 1 rupee note, उसके ऊपर जो sign होते हैं वो किसके होते हैं? It is of the finance secretary. और finance secretary कौन होता है? He or she is the senior most IAS officer in all of these 5 departments. तो पांचों departments में जो senior most होगा वो होगा finance secretary. उसके sign होते हैं 1 rupee note के ऊपर. 1 rupee note जिसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है प्रिंटिंग की गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की, रेस्ट बाकी जितनी करेंसी है वो आरबीआई प्रिंट करती है. ओके, लेट अस मूव फॉरवर्ड. नाउ लेट अस सी सम इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्ट्स अबाउट द इकोनॉमिक सर्वे. तो अगर हम फर्स्ट इकोनॉमिक सर्वे की बात करें, सो 1950-51 फर्स्ट इकोनॉमिक सर्वे वाज प्रेजेंटेड एंड इट वाज प्रेजेंटेड एज पार्ट ऑफ द यूनियन बजट, व्हिच मींस इट वाज टेबल्ड along with the economic survey of India. That means यूनियन बजट के साथ ही उन्होंने सर्वे प्रेजेंट किया था. और 1964 तक ऐसे ही चलता था, जिस दिन बजट टेबल होता था the same day economic survey was tabled. But after 1964 में इसको अलग कर दिया गया. So remember 1964 the year, और simply remember कि हमेशा से ऐसा नहीं था कि इकोनॉमिक सर्वे पहले प्रेजेंट किया जाता था. पहले जो इकोनॉमिक सर्वे है that was tabled along with the union budget. 1964 is the year when it was separated from the budget and it was presented each year after that before the presentation of the budget. यानी कि बजट से एक दिन पहले इसको टेबल करना चालू कर दिया उन्होंने. ओके, और तब से ऐसा ही चल रहा है कि जिस दिन बजट प्रेजेंट करते हैं हम जिस दिन बजट टेबल होता है उससे एक दिन पहले इकोनॉमिक सर्वे जो है वो टेबल किया जाता है. नाउ दिस ईयर इफ वी से इकोनॉमिक सर्वे 2020 to 21 उसको 29th of January को ही टेबल कर दिया गया था, जबकि बजट आना है 1st of February को. सो दैट इज जस्ट बिकॉज इस बार सैटरडे संडे जो है वो आ रहा था एंड लास्ट वर्किंग डे जो है वो फ्राइडे दैट इज 29th of January पड़ रहा था. सो इसलिए द इकोनॉमिक सर्वे वॉज टेबल 3 days बिफोर द बजट. ओके, सो याद रखना इकोनॉमिक सर्वे पहले बजट के साथ प्रेजेंट किया जाता था, उसके बाद 1964 में इसको अलग अलग कर दिया गया. नाउ इट इज प्रेजेंटेड 1 day बिफोर द बजट. इस साल का जो इकोनॉमिक सर्वे है 3 दिन पहले टेबल कर दिया गया क्योंकि लास्ट वर्किंग डे फ्राइडे पड़ रहा था विच वॉज 29th of Jan. When I say the budget, it is presented on 1st of February. Again, जो बजट पहले टेबल किया जाता था, it was generally tabled at the end of February. Okay, but now from 2016, अरुण जेटली जी ने फर्स्ट टाइम जो बजट है 1st of February को स्टार्ट किया था, so that it gives us enough time before the starting of the financial year from 1st of April. तो इसलिए पहले एंड ऑफ फेब्रुअरी में बजट को टेबल किया जाता था, बट नाउ द यूनियन बजट इज ऑल्सो प्रेजेंटेड ऑन द 1st of February. नाउ इज दिस इकोनॉमिक सर्वे बाइंडिंग on the government of India? Is the policy recommendations which are given by the survey binding on the government of India? So the answer is no. It is a non-binding document and the government of India is not constitutionally obligated to follow this. Now, if I talk about the budget, which is also known as the annual financial statement, it is obligatory for the government of India to table it in the parliament. Why? Because it is given directly in the constitution through article 112. So remember, this economic survey, it is non-binding, not constitutionally bound. It's nowhere given in the constitution. The only reason the government presents it is due to a historic tradition only. So because historically जो है इसको टेबल किया जाता है, सो इस वजह से अभी तक that tradition is continuing and it has a significance. It gives us important policy recommendations, so that is the reason it is presented. Otherwise, the government is not bound to present it or table it in the parliament. Okay, let us move forward. Okay, now some other facts about it. So we know that nowadays the economic survey, it is presented in 2 volumes. So it was not the case earlier. Till 2013 to 14, there was only 1 volume in which there were 13 chapters in 1 statistical appendix. But from 2014-15, the 2-volume system has been started by the Chief Economic Advisor Arvind Subramaniam, and he based it on the IMF's World Economic Outlook. So World Economic Outlook, which is given by the IMF, International Monetary Fund, it has also the 2 volumes. So therefore, the same way, the 2-volume system has been adopted. So now the economic survey has 2 volumes, volume 1 and volume 2. So remember, volume 1, it talks about future, and volume 2, it gives us the past data. And what exactly is given in volume 1? The challenges which are faced by the Indian economy along with the recommendations. So when I say recommendations, is it mandatory for government to follow these recommendations which is given by the survey? The answer is again no. Why? Because constitutionally it's not obligatory, right? The economic survey, it's not obligatory for the government to present it, and similarly the recommendations, they are not binding on the government. So government may follow it because the recommendations are really good. The government may not follow it. It's their own discretion. There is as such no obligation on the government to follow the recommendations. So remember, volume 1 talks about future policies and the challenges which are faced by our Indian economy along with the recommendations for the same. And volume 2 is basically the performance of the government in the previous year. That is, it gives the past data. And as I've already told you, when I say 2020-21, which is tabled this year in 21, it is basically means the previous financial year, whereas if I talk about the budget, it will be for the next financial year, which is 2021 to 2022. So I hope it is clear. Okay, so if we talk about the economic survey of this year, so as I've already told you that it has been tabled yesterday, that is on 29th of January 2021 by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and the survey was prepared by Dr. Krishnamurti Subramaniam, who is the Chief Economic Advisor. So हमेशा याद रखना, principal author अगर पूछे आपसे, who is the principal author of the economic survey? Principal author is Dr. Krishnamurti Subramaniam. Now, it does not mean that Dr. Krishnamurti Subramaniam will prepare the whole survey by himself, or the Chief Economic Advisor will prepare the whole survey by himself or herself. So, basically, there are many IES officers, that is Indian Economic Services officers under him, and various advisors who help him or her, that is the Chief Economic Advisor, in the preparation of the economic survey. But always remember, if somebody asks you who is the principal author of the economic survey, then it is always the Chief Economic Advisor. Okay. Now for this year's economic survey, the government has launched an official app. So एक mobile application जो है वो launch करी गई है, so that it is easy for you to download the economic survey full volumes, and you can easily read it, and you can also share it with your friends and family, and also you do not require any other app to read the documents. The documents will open in the application itself. So this is something special about this year's economic survey. And obviously we know there has been a pandemic going on, so our survey also focuses on the pandemic and how we have taken the measures to minimize the losses. And especially when I say losses, we are talking about the lives of the people. Okay, so the foundational theme on which the economic survey 2020 to 21 has been authored is saving lives and livelihoods. And the survey focused on some research, the epidemiological and the economic research. So epidemiological means basically the data or the frequency or patterns or distributions of the health events. So just like the pandemic, it is going on. So they have collected some data regarding it from the country itself, and on the basis of that data, some economic research has been done. And we have seen how the initial lockdown which was done, it was helpful in saving the lives. And the survey also recognized the fact that the GDP or the gross domestic product could have been recovered, but the lives of people, they cannot come back. So in the light of this, the economic survey appreciated the initial lockdowns which were placed because it minimized the losses, okay, especially the loss of human life. And it also notes that the healthcare crisis can get transformed into an economic and social crisis. The next video will be on the highlights of the economic survey, in which I'll cover each of the chapters in brief, and then we might go on to detailed explanation of the chapters. So that is it for today, guys. I hope you liked the video, and if you do, then please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. So thank you very much. Have a very good day.